We are now going to have our next topic, which is the phases. So the phase of an alternating quantity at any instant is the angle phi in radians or degrees traveled by the phasor representing the alternating quantity up to the instant consideration measured from the reference. So our reference here, we will use x-axis para pare-pareho tayo ng vector diagrams. You can also use y-axis, kaya lang mas nakakalito yung y-axis. So for this class, we will use x-axis always as our reference. So we have three cases for angle phase. The symbol for phase is phi, like this one. So case 1, we have the zero phase. When phase of an alternating quantity is 0, it is standard pure sinusoidal quantity having instantaneous value at t is equal to 0. So here we have the sinusoidal wave of the zero phase. So it is just a standard sine wave, pure sine wave. It starts at t is equal to 0. And it has a positive and negative amplitude. This y-axis can be represented by current, voltage, power. So we have our equation here from our previous topics. A is equal to am sine omega t, or yung mga ginamit natin na, so this A here is instantaneous. E is equal to em sine theta. If we draw this one in vector, mas madali siyang isolve kasi pag vectors yung ginamit nyo. So if we draw that one in vector, so this is our reference x-axis, and this wave will be drawn like this one. Ito. It is in phase with our reference. Remember the word in phase. So the x-axis, our reference is in phase with this vector. Okay? So pareho lang siya ng direction in phase. For the case 2, positive phase, when phase of an alternating quantity is positive, it means that quantity has some positive instantaneous value at t is equal to 0. So this one is a positive phase. This is our t is equal to 0. We have a phase angle here, this one, and it has a positive value at t is equal to 0. So dito, yung value ng sine wave natin is 0 at t is equal to 0. So positive phase naman, may value yung may value dito at t is equal to 0 na positive because it started at y positive. Okay, so the equation of this one will be A is equal to am sine omega t. So for positive sequence, we will use the plus the phase angle. So dito naman, in phase kanina, since 0 to, general form kasi, ang general form ng tatlong to is A is equal to am sine omega t plus minus phi. So since 0 to, hindi na nalagay yung plus or minus phi kasi 0 din lang naman yung phi. So since in case 2 is positive, we will use the positive sign here as positive of the phase angle. If we draw the vector diagram of the positive sequence, we will get like this one. So this is our reference x-axis, and this wave will be drawn like this one. So may angle ka dito na phase phi. Okay? So, the term here will be leading. Okay? Leading with respect to x-axis. Leading, mas nauna kesa kay x-axis at a certain angle phi. For negative phase sequence naman is when phase of an alternating quantity is negative, it means that quantity has some negative instantaneous value at t is equal to 0. So may negative value naman dito at t is equal to 0. So A is equal to AM. AM here is maximum sine omega t minus phi. So minus naman for negative sequence. So the vector diagram of this one will be looks like this. This is our x-axis and the sine wave will be here. So this one is our angle phi. Okay, so the term here naman is lagging. This vector lags behind our reference, lagging, with respect to x-axis. So, importante to, lagging, leading, and in phase. So, pag sinabi nating in phase, it is actually cosine 0 degrees. So, other term for in phase is unity because it is equal to 1. Okay? So, concept of phase. The phase is measured with respect to reference direction such that positive x-axis. So, dito tayo sa positive x-axis magre-reference. The phase measured in anti-clockwise direction is positive while the phase measured in clockwise direction is negative. So we have an example here to solve. Na-delete na yata yung number 1 and number 2 dito. Ay, ito yung una pala. Example natin. Ito, 1, 2, and then 3. Voltage has the equation E is equal to 170 sine alpha or sine theta. Calculate the instantaneous values of voltages for the following angles: 30 degrees, 60, 75, 105, and so on and so forth. So we will just substitute the values of the angle here at this angle alpha, and we will get now the instantaneous value. So number 3. Our equation is E is equal to 170 sine of alpha. So ano yung value ng instantaneous voltage mo at this angle, 30 degrees? So E is equal to 170 sine. So, as we can see here in our equation, this is in phase. Why? Because there is no angle phi. The equation will be E is equal to EM sine alpha. Walang value yung plus or minus phi. So, this is a sine in phase or unity equation. So, E is equal to 170 sine. Our first angle is 30. So, that is equal to, your calculator must be in degrees kasi naka-decrease yung mga given. So, 170 sine of 30. That is equal to 85 volts. Ito yung maximum value ng voltage mo at ito yung mariread na voltage at 30 degrees. Next is at 75 degrees. So, E will be 170 sine 75. That will be equal to 164.208 volts. So, and so on and so forth. Substitute nyo lang yung mga angles. So, E is equal to 170 sine 105. .207 volts. So, as you can see here, they are the same, 75 and 105. So, anong ibig sabihin yan? So, if we go back to our sine wave, so since this is in phase, the sine wave will be at t is equal to 0. Our phase angle is t is equal to 0. Our first one at 75 degrees, so this is 90. Let's say this is 75. So, after the rising at 75 at maximum, so bababa na naman siya dito. So, nandito yung angle 105 and this is 75. They have the same value here at y-axis, equal to 164.207. So, ito yung value ng ating maximum na 170. They are the same at this point and at this point. Again, at negative half cycle, there will be again a negative value of 164.207 at a certain degree. So, nandito. Okay? So, ano yung degrees dito? So, you can solve that one. Kung ano yung value ng mga degrees dito. Third one or the next angle is 135. So, E is equal to 170 sine 135. Try natin to. E 170 sine 135. So, 120.208. So, nasan kaya yung angle 135? So, nandito yung 180 natin. This is 180 degrees. So, tama lang na bumaba kasi ito yung 105. Siguro nandito yung 135. So, ito yung value ng 120 natin. 120.208. Ito yung angle 135. So, next is 180. So, sine 180 is 0. Nandito yung 0 natin at 180. 270. 170 times sine 270. That is negative 170 volts. So, nasa ano na tayo, negative half cycle. E is equal to 170 sine 270 is equal to negative 170 volts. So, nandito yung 270 kasi 180 to. So, baka nandito yung 270 or here. So, makikita mo, if you project this one to our sine wave, makakakuha ka ng value. So, 270 is the maximum in the negative half cycle. Ito. This is our 170 volts. Negative 170. At positive half cycle naman at 90 degrees. At negative half cycle at 270 degrees mo makukuha yung maximum voltage. Next is 330 degrees. E is equal to 170 sine 330. So that is equal to negative 85 volts. So may negative 85 tayo kanina. Ito. At positive half cycle, 30 degrees siya. Makukuha mo yung 85. At negative half cycle, you will have an angle of 330 degrees for you to get the negative value of 85 volts. This is now the representation of the angles in number 3. So this is our equation. E is equal to em sine theta plus minus phi. So our phi here is 0 kasi this is in phase. This is 0. Kaya ito lang yung angle na ginamit. So at 30 degrees, ito. Since these angles are positive, so it is read anti-clockwise kasi positive yung mga angles mo. So from our reference, 30 degrees, nandito siya. If you project this one to your y-axis, ito yung value ng instantaneous voltage mo. Okay? So next one is 60 degrees. From here, reference, 60, counterclockwise, nandito yung 60 degrees mo. Project mo na naman, nandito yung value ng instantaneous voltage mo. Next, 75, nandito yung 75 from the reference. So, project, nandito na naman yung value ng instantaneous voltage. 105, ito yung 105, i-project mo, may mababasa ka dito na value. Next one, 135, ito yung 180. So, 0, kasi nandito sa exactly x-axis. So, that is 0. Next is 270, the negative 90 at negative half cycle, that is positive 270. If you read clockwise, so that is negative 90. If you read counterclockwise, that is positive 270. Next is 330 degrees. So if you project this one, 330 degrees, may makukuha kang value sa negative y-axis mo. Kaya negative yung makukuha mong value dito. Kasi nasa negative y-axis. Number 4. A current wave has the equation I is equal to 21.2 sine alpha. At what angles will be the instantaneous values of current? Be the following. So may mga values ng instantaneous currents natin and we will solve the angle. 7.25 amperes, 15, 19.9, 13.6, negative 13.6, negative 19.9, and negative 12.2 amperes. So let's try 7.25 amperes. So our instantaneous value here is 7.25. Our equation is 21.2 sine alpha or theta. Depende kung anong gusto mong gamitin dyan. So paano natin isosolve yung angle? It is just the arc sine of 7.25 theta is equal to arc sine of 7.25 divided by 21.2. So that is equal to arc sine 19.997, or let's just say 20 degrees. Next is 15. So theta is equal to arc sine of 15 divided by 21.2. What is the angle? 45.036 degrees. 19.9 divided by 21.2. 69.831 degrees. Next, dun tayo sa 13.6. So 13.6 divided by 21.2. 39.904 degrees. Next, negative. So arc sine of negative 13.6 divided by 21.2. So negative tayo, nasa clockwise direction yung angle natin. So that is negative. So it's just the opposite of this one. Negative 39.904. So, paano natin i-vector diagram to? 39.904. So, nandito siya, positive 39. Yung isa naman negative, so magre-read ka clockwise. Let's say nandito yung 904. Negative. Okay? So same value sila ng y-axis. But different direction. Next, negative 19.9. 21.2 negative, so pareho to, positive 19.9 and negative 19.9. Negative 69.831. Same magnitude, different direction. Negative 12.2 last. Negative 35.133 degrees. So, okay. Madali lang tong part na to. Number 5, what are the frequencies of the following sinusoidal waves? So, from our equation, diba, E is equal to EM sine 2 pi ft. Ito yung unknown frequency. So, E, ano yung values natin? May equation tayo na EM sine 3770, letter A. So, omega t to, di ba? Yung 2 pi ft omega t. So, the value of our frequency here, since this is our omega is 2 pi f. Our frequency is equal to omega divided by 2 pi. So, 377 divided by 2 pi. That is the value of your frequency. So, 60 Hertz. Next, your omega is equal to 314. So, frequency is equal to 314 divided by 2 pi. 50 Hertz. Letter C, 157. So, frequency is 157 divided by 2 pi. So, 25 Hertz. Next problem. What the RMS value of the voltage in 60 Hertz circuit is 115 volts. Write the equation of the sinusoidal wave. So the given here is the RMS value of the voltage. So ERMS is equal to 115 volts. Our equation is E is equal to EM sine omega t. So, kailangan natin yung EM. We will multiply our RMS into square root of 2 para makuha yung maximum voltage. So, EM is equal to 115 times square root of 2. 162.635 volts. And we have a frequency equal to 60 Hertz. So our omega will be equal to 2 pi 60. That is equal to 2 pi times 60 is 377. The equation now will be E is equal to 162.635 sine of 377t.